And there he is.
Hey, Bay.
How are you, man? Sorry about that.
Good, how are you?
Good. So, something I saw that was pretty cool was like you performed for Sting and Russell Crowe at a private event.
Yeah, it was kind of a fluke, but it's definitely a memorable event. And Sting was just such an incredible, gentle gentleman. You know, it's really enhanced my already, fanfare for him. So that was cool. I didn't really get to talk to Russell Crowe. He was kind of working the room. But
Gotcha.
He's a very articulate individual.
Now, when you end up doing something like that, like it sounds like it was not planned. It just happened. You just happened to luck out that way. Like what the hell goes through your head? Like I could never imagine, let alone being in the same room as Sting, but having to perform in front of him.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Maybe it's kind of good that I didn't really have too much leeway into that situation. But honestly, man, like I think when you've been doing something for so long, as terrified as I was, I think the second I sat down and I was playing, just something else takes over.
Right.
The shock and the trauma of that experience happens kind of afterward. And I have a photo that I keep looking at, that I just basically say, yeah, it happened, But like I said, he was incredible. I mean, I played. It was actually different music. It was flamenco.
Okay.
So I was playing on my acoustic, and it's just after the show when I had gotten off, and I was just still in that kind of adrenaline rush. He literally came through the crowd and with his hands out, and he just kind of grabbed my hand to shake my hand, and I was like, wow, man. He said that was amazing. I just looked at him and I said, I'm honored, man. And he just kind of shook his head like he was embarrassed by it.
Oh, that's awesome. So now how do you go yourself from playing performing flamenco guitar to like this classic metal, power metal type band?
Well, the metal stuff's always been my primary. So at one point in my life, I spent about 3 or 4 years just doing acoustic stuff. But prior to that, I mean, I'd always been doing metal. When I lived in Europe, I was doing death metal, death grindcore stuff.
Okay.
And then I was doing death grindcore, like kind of Cannibal Corpse style music. And then I got into actually doing a Genesis Phil Collins tribute. So I'm a music fan. I love music, and I like to challenge myself a little bit. But my foundation, my roots have always been, like the Maidens and the Priests and the Sabbaths and stuff. So I'm in the same old.
Very cool. So you guys actually have you have a new EP coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's called The Curse Lives On, which I started getting the press releases, I guess it was a week or so ago, with the teaser for this huge cover you guys decided to take on. And I said to myself, like, wow, like when you guys decide to do a cover song, I guess you go for like the cream of the crop, the top one, like a 15-minute opus of Rime of the Ancient Mariner.
Well, it's 13 minutes. We added another minute and change. I just thought, if we were to give it at least some sort of original spin, still in keeping with the vibe, and just to kind of take another prose from the poem and start the song with it, and just kind of create a little story time thing. But for me, Maiden is the band of all bands. It's the reason why I play guitar. And if you're going to choose a cover from their their collection, it's very difficult. But I figure it to me, it's the most epic song of the most epic band. And
sure.
That to me was something I thought, maybe musically it's not the most complex, but it's just such a statement, I think, and it's just a song of all songs. So I think it was natural for me in terms of, I think, to do a cover, because we would just be bickering, ad nauseum about which Maiden cover to do. I mean, there's just too many songs that I know that we love, as a band, and
sure.
who knows, we might actually, maybe we'll do more covers in the future, but if you had one to choose, that was just the one that I had to jump to.
Now, I also think, like you were saying, like you bicker back and forth about the other Maiden songs, but I can imagine might have been a lot of bickering about that too. Like, dude, do you really want to play like that long of a song?
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, vocally, it's challenging, and I'll tell you though. I mean, 15 minutes may seem like a long time, but I think that song for me, it just, I don't know, it doesn't come across as 15 minutes when you're performing it.
You know what? I remember like going back to what year did it come out? Like '87 or so. I remember when it was coming out and reading the magazines, like each month building it up, and then they were talking this song up, and I just remember kind of being scared, like thinking to myself, like, oh my god, like here's going to be this long song, But you're right. Like when you listen to it, it doesn't seem that long. It's got such a great fluidness that goes through it, and just from one piece to another. And it's a true classic.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think if you don't like Maiden or whatever, maybe it will come across as a long song, or if we did a piss poor job of it. But I think we did a really good job. I think we did it respect. So I'm really happy the way it came out.
No, I guess too. Like when you guys decided to do that, I guess you guys also decided, like right off the bat, like first single video for it, boom, like there's no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, we kept the video pretty straightforward. It kind of gives you a little bit of a live show feeling, but I still think it feels a little bit actually pulled back from our normal show. But again, it's just everything that's been happening with the EP and stuff like that. It's been great. The momentum's slowly building for us. And honestly, it's been many years before we've actually pulled the trigger. So in a way, it's kind of a delay. And anyway, I'm just really excited.
Cool.
A little bit shell-shocked, to be honest.
Excuse me. I saw also, too, like, I mean, doing a long song like that, like, isn't a stranger, I guess, to the band, because, I mean, a lot of your songs are already long. Like, I think I saw, like, high 5-minute ones. I saw one that was 8 minutes, the song Heaven, which
8 minutes.
Also... Yeah,
8 minutes is pretty common for us, and the high 6s to 8 is probably standard for us, and maybe that's due in part because we still, did solos and stuff like that, and maybe some kind of middle musical interlude or something like that. We don't write for radio, man. We never wrote for radio. I mean, I think that obviously they want to stick in as many songs as possible to market in an hour, so I understand that,
yeah.
And I guess maybe with our genre it's a bit different. And most of the bands that I got into back in the day, when I was just solely searching out for like metal blade bands and stuff like that, and I would always read the song titles and the song durations, and I'd be like, a band that's going to be writing music in the 8 minutes, and really investing themselves in that. Those were always the bands I was more attracted to. I found that they were more musical in general.
Right. Yeah. Now that you put it that way. They truly were. So
we don't like premeditated. Sorry, go ahead, Ben.
So you guys are based out of Canada. Now, have you guys done any touring at any shows in the States or?
Not with this outfit. Phear is hoping to do some European shows. I've been really anxious to do something in like Germany. And, more in Scandinavia. I think, Canada's kind of a tough bill, I think, for metal acts. And I know in the States probably it's a little bit more healthier, especially like, say, in Texas or something like that. There might be more healthier metal scenes. But Europe is, I think, definitely more the flavor we have. And culturally speaking, I find that, locally they'll come out and support you, but it's almost like you have to have the support externally before they get behind you. So that's basically, maybe how it'll happen if it happens.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we've been doing the show, it's 5 years, and we're not just music. I mean, we're all types of entertainment. But me, myself, being biased, I'm kind of like you, where my heart is with music and mostly hard rock and metal. So that's where a lot of our guests come from. And believe it or not, most of the acts that we have interviewed from Canada have been country.
Wow.
Yeah,
like
and it
coming
shocked
from Alberta?
me.
I guess country is pretty popular, but and honestly, man, I don't know how your radio shows are there. I would imagine it's kind of universal where the music, I don't even know if it really qualifies as country. Maybe it's labeled country-esque, but there's such a fusion, I guess I would call it a homogenization of art form, where, obviously they want to blend every popular style of music into one voice.
Totally.
And, country kind of took the lead, maybe the lead flavor palette, if you will. But, it still kind of got the pop in there, and I don't really know what to call it. I mean, I love a lot of the old, bluegrass and country bands back in the day. Like, I liked when things were kind of definitive. You know what you're listening to, as opposed to whether you pop, whether you get anything in the top 40 almost sounds interchangeable. And again, I understand it from the business standpoint, but it'd be really nice that, if you're going to buy a country album, you're getting someone who's just, all out country, right? Not to say that I'm a purist or a snob in that regard, but I still think that there's something to be said if the music isn't being tempered to appease everyone's tastes.
I agree. I totally agree. And you actually touched on something too. I was going to ask you about was Europe. Like, I figure you guys have a nice, solid following over in Europe. So I was wondering if there was anything set up for you guys to go over there at all.
We're working on that right now, and like I said, I think we're targeting Germany. And for me, I don't really know how many countries really thrive. I mean, parts of South America, Poland, Germany. Like I said, I think parts of Scandinavia. I think there's a really strong following for metal. And we're going to start targeting those areas now as we speak, actually. Things are slowly unfolding. But at the same time, I just keep my head out of the clouds a little bit. And, I just kind of try to be on the ground as much as possible and one step before the next and just not get too excited. I think I've been doing this too long to, not be completely jaded because I am excited, but I don't become excited and then go numb, with the hope that things are going to pan out or we're going to have a following. But I guess, to your point, definitely I hope that once they get a little bit of what we're doing over there, that we do get some invites to do some shows.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see some stuff going on over there for you guys, without a doubt. It'd be the perfect matchup.
Yeah, there's definitely, we have I guess there's a North American style, I guess the foundation of some of our thrashier parts, but I think it definitely lends itself more to maybe a European texture in many ways.
Absolutely.
But to each their own, man. I don't know. I'm a hard rock metal guy too, and I think a metal guy is a metal guy. You know what I mean? And anyone who's into the music is into the music. If they hear, I guess, similar flavors of bands they like in us, that's cool. People can only hear what they're used to hearing in terms of understanding.
Right.
And I think there's definitely some crossovers.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. So tomorrow is the big day. It's officially out. EP will be out. Are you guys going to do have a big party celebration or?
We are actually. We're getting together tomorrow, and we're just going to have kind of an intimate band thing. Going to have we're going to be jumping up and down in the swimming pool with beach balls and. No, we're just going to have some beers, I think, some wine or whatever, and just maybe watch some metal videos or whatever it is. Just nothing really crazy, just hanging out with the boys.
Just keep sitting there waiting for the little things to go off with the sails, right?
Again, keeping my head out of the clouds, man. If that happens, that's beautiful. Even like I was talking to Patrick, he's like, the video's up towards 5,000 views in a couple of days, and I said, that's great, man. I said, it's in the back of my mind. It's over there doing its thing, and I'm just focused on over here,
Right. Very cool. Well, that's good.
I am excited.
I mean,
Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to not get too excited.
Right, yeah. No, I get it. You don't want to get yourself too excited and then be let down. This way, it's, what happens, and you're happy anyway.
Exactly, man. I mean, this was an achievement for us personally, you know what I mean? And the fact that this is being marketed is absolutely extraneous. Like, this is all bonus material because we would have done it anyway. We've been doing it anyway for, the first seed was planted for Fear in 2004 when I was writing material. So it's been 13 years already,
Wow.
And we're just plugging away.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I mean, it is a long time, but I think, as you know, man, like when you're doing stuff you're passionate about, you don't count the minutes. You know what I mean? You just life will just blast by you, and hopefully you've just put in the time and the love into something that you really believe in, and you live a life with some kind of value.
Right. Very, very cool. Well, this has been awesome. I want to thank you again for doing this. I want to wish you guys all the luck in the world, and I would really appreciate it if you drink a nice cold beer from me as well tomorrow, as you guys
maybe
are celebrating.
A couple.
Absolutely. I don't want to twist your arm or nothing, but I'd really appreciate it.
Will do, man.
So, all right. Well, you know what? We're going to play Rime and Emanuel too. Like, it's a single. You got to play it, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. So let's do it. Thanks again for calling in, and everybody, where can they go to get the EP?
Well, I believe it's on all the major, digital channels. I'm not sure if it's actually been through iTunes. It's actually probably been through iTunes. I'm just not sure about Amazon yet. But I'm definitely, I'm sure it's available on the major platforms.
Nice. And they can go to the website Phear Band. It's PHEAR band.com. And they can go there, and you got all the links up there for all your social media sites. And you can also pick up the first album and links for the EP and everything. And their next job after they purchase that is to just crank it up.
That's right, man. Blow some speakers, and hopefully if there's enough loud voices and responses, we've been getting requests at some music stores. Eventually that means that we may migrate to your town and get to rock the stage.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, man, I'd love to see you guys down here in Philly, and anything I can do to help you guys hook it up if you start booking shows this way, just hit me up and let me know, and we'll get you taken care of.
Oh, that'd be great, man. I would love that.
Cool. Thanks again, and let's do it. Rime and Emanuel, here we go.
Great, thanks a lot, Bay.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Have a good day.